What is going on, Sabres fans, and welcome back to another episode of the Sabres Spotlight podcast where we shine a light on all things Sabres hockey. Ryan, what's going on?
Dude, I every time we record, I'm like, wow, we haven't recorded in like a full week or like more. So it is like fun to get back on here, but I
This has
gotta
been
tell
two
you what
weeks.
happened. Oh yeah, we met. Okay, so that's why it feels like it's been so long. It's been 2 weeks. I gotta tell you what happened to me this morning, dude. So it's like any other morning. I'm going out to my car, gonna go to work, and I open my car, and my center console is open, and there is just a bunch of like random shit, like hand sanitizers, and I got like pens in there and like masks, like just in case like we need a mask for some reason. Like I don't, we really don't need those anymore, but they're just in my vehicle on my seat, and my change is gone. So somebody literally robbed me yesterday. I guess I didn't lock my door. Like I lock my door obviously like every night, my car door, and like or like every time I get home from work, or like the last time you're in your car. But I guess I just didn't, and someone used that opportunity to take the $3 I had in my car.
Yeah, that's probably about what I have in my car too. But that is speaking of that, that's crazy timing. If you're listening, you might have just heard my car lock because we always lock our car doors at night. So Katie must have just locked our cars.
That's
But
insane timing. But yeah, I guess I didn't do it.
No, it is crazy though because like I was just talking with DJ, my brother-in-law, about this a couple days ago about how he's like, dude, there's been like reports in our neighborhood too about like people breaking into cars and whatnot, and it's just kind of crazy that like someone would do that, and to think that like you were just like in the dead of night, we were just sleeping in your house, like nothing's wrong, and
Yeah,
someone's just like
someone's
in
fucking
your car.
ruffling through my car, dude. Like what in the hell? They didn't
Yeah,
take anything. Like I have chargers and stuff in there, and like no, they just wanted the like X amount of change I had in there. So it's like, okay, well, I just feel violated right now that someone was in my vehicle without me
I
knowing.
know.
Like, it's disgusting.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like I don't know if I told you the story about. Well, I told you. I don't know if I told it on the podcast though about when someone got arrested in my backyard, and I didn't even find out about it for like 3 weeks until my neighbor finally told me. I was like, oh, would have been nice if somebody from the sheriff's department or the police department came over and told me that. Hey, just so you know, this happened.
Yeah, oh my God. Dude, that happened to us once. So I wasn't even gonna tell this on this, like, that just triggered me.
I remember.
Uh,
I know what you're gonna say.
dude, so
This is
one
crazy.
time, I don't know what was going on, but someone like crashed their car like two streets over, like into a light post, and they're being chased by the police. And my cousin told me because they were listening to it on the scanner, and they were just like, something happened, like chasing somewhere in like where I live. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm looking out the window just to like see what's going on, whatever. And this fucking guy opens my gate and goes into my garage. And he's there for like, a second, leaves, goes back to the gate and like runs down the street. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? What was that?
That
Like,
is
it
crazy.
was
That is crazy.
insane. So that also has happened to me before, and it's just like, it's just really weird. Like, God, the world's fucked up.
The world is nuts. The world is nuts. Well, speaking of something that's not nuts, I went to a meat raffle last week or Friday for listener of the podcast Randy, aka Randazzle, aka Showtime Randy, and shout out to Randy. He was a great MC the whole night. He was singing a song in the beginning, and it was really cool. Like seeing him, we were there for his son's hockey team, and it was just kind of cool watching him do it because like you could just tell he actually likes doing it, and he did a great job. And it's just like that total just like dad thing. He's just like there to like just help out his kid, like raise as much money as possible. And they probably raised like a shit ton of money, which was great. I think I asked you, but you ever been to a meat raffle?
Yeah, a couple, and I've never won. And it
Dude,
sucked. I'm like you texted me the list, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to win that. I don't want to win that. I want to win that. And you spoiler, you won something.
well, okay, so I hadn't been to one in a while, but they're so awesome. And like I said, they probably made a ton of money because you sell out all these, like they don't spin the wheel until the whole round is sold out, and you obviously pay to get in each round. So we get in each round, whatever. It's usually like $1, $2, sometimes $3 if it's like more expensive meats. But we hit in round one, the third spin, Granted, it wasn't really something I like. We just want some chicken feta sausage, which Katie will eat. Like, I'm not gonna touch that stuff. It even like is like a little green color. Like that just kind of weirds me out. But I'm thinking to myself, like, ooh, we're in it. We're hot. We're off to a good start. So then we end up winning 4 times throughout the night. We take home chicken sausage, Italian sausage, a big bag of chicken fingers, which I was hyped about. And in that bonus round, we grabbed those original pizza logs, and I was pumped about those. So yeah,
Well,
it was a lot of fun.
some are saying that it was rigged because Randy likes you guys.
So shout out Randy. Also shouted out the podcast on the show. So I had Katie going up because I was kind of in the corner, kind of wedged. So like it was kind of a little bit more inconvenient for me to get up and like get the stuff if we won. But after we won the 4th time, I told Katie, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go up, or else people are gonna start getting pissed at you. So as I'm going up, Randy shouts out the podcast and says like, hey, listen to Sabres Spotlight, which was cool. So yeah, it was, but
Shout out to
it was a lot
all
of
the
fun.
new listeners, all the new hockey dads out there that are going to listen to our show.
Yeah, let's go. And today's gonna be fun. We got a really cool, I think, fun show concept lined up for tonight, which I think we're gonna hop into this right away and get into some other stuff later on. But what we're gonna
Guys,
do go ahead,
guys,
because I'm gonna get
this
stuff
is
ready.
the epitome of June content. And it's so random what we're about to do. Like, it makes no sense, but it's fun. So go ahead and tell the listeners what we're about to do.
Yeah, it is. It is just so random. I'm gonna share my screen here real quick, and so we can, because I know you love when we get the screen share going. And here we
Yeah,
go.
it gets me going.
All right, so if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, whatever, you can see the draft rules up. But I'm going to go through this real quick. So we're doing a Sabres fantasy draft tonight here on Sabres Spotlight. It's going to be Team Matt versus Team Ryan. We're putting on our GM hats in the craziest of scenarios. We're building a 14-player roster. So we're going to have 3 forward lines, 2 D lines, and 1 goalie. All right, so 14 total players. So 14 rounds, of course. Rounds 1 through 3. If you're listening, want to play along, whatever, or drop a comment in the YouTube section. Let us know, where we went wrong or whatnot. Let us know on Twitter. But rounds 1, 2, and 3 are going to be players currently on the Sabres. So current Sabres in the first 3 rounds will obviously alternate. It's going to be a snake style draft. Rounds 4 to 5, we're going to be drafting players from 2013 to 22 to
The
2022.
worst era of Sabre
Yep.
hockey.
Yep. And then round 6 and 7 will be the golden era of Sabres hockey, or one of them at least, from 2005 to 2013. Round 8 will be the wild card round. So then we're kind of done with the Sabres, right? Now we're starting to get a little crazy here, right? So round 8, we're getting wild card round. We can take any player off any team currently playing. So any current player, just pick them right up, drop them right onto the Sabres. They're coming to play with us for the rest of their career. So wild card round in 8. Rounds 9, 10, and 11 are the UFA rounds. So we're going to be plucking any UFAs that we want. Cap does not matter. We're just taking whoever the heck we want and having them join our team. Round 12 is going to be a Sabres prospect. And then rounds 13 and 14, we're going to take some Sabres legends, which we define as pre 2005. It can really
Just
be,
because, dude, I gotta say, we're 30. We're in our 30s.
yeah,
No shit about fuck about like the 70s, 80s, and 90s Sabres. Like, yeah, we know the names. I've seen the games. I've seen full games. But man, we don't know shit about them. Like, we've never seen them really play. So
yeah,
simply
yeah.
Sabres legend, one guy. There's like a group of like 30 guys you can take from here, so it's fun. I just love how like it's so random that we're like mixing and mashing. Like, hey, let's take this guy from 2005 and have him play with a current UFA. I love that. It's so funny. It's just super random and it's fucking June. What else are we gonna talk about?
And it's like, it's really cool because it was like truly a collaborative effort. Because like I think I sent you this like initial idea last week. It was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking, and then you had the idea to do like the different eras of Sabres hockey. It just kind of all came together naturally, which is kind of cool. And all right, we're gonna get it started. The one thing we didn't talk about is who's gonna pick first. So
Listen,
we got to figure that out here.
you. I think you can get the first overall pick because
But now I'm thinking you want me to pick first because you want the double snake, and maybe I should make you pick first.
Oh, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do.
All right, we're just gonna do it like this. What number do I have behind my back right now? 1 or 2?
1.
2.
Okay. All right.
So I'll choose. I am gonna pick first actually because I want my chance to grab that very first Sabre currently on the team.
And it's funny because I think I know who you're going to pick based solely off the discussion we just had 30 seconds before starting the show.
I don't know if you know who I'm gonna pick.
Okay. Okay.
I don't even remember what discussion you're referencing. But anyways, we're gonna go back. So here's the rules. We'll have these up, for a little bit, but I'm gonna scroll up because we have our official draft board here now. So again, if you're watching, you can see team 1, which we're gonna go ahead and put in here. That's team Matt, right? And then we're gonna go team 2. It's gonna be team Ryan. So there we go, nice and updated. The rounds are on the left side. The modifiers are here to the right. So that'll kind of keep us in check, as we go, and we'll kind of update this. All right. So, oh man, this is tough. The first pick in that draft. I don't want to mess this up. This is like selected number 1 overall and taking like Baker Mayfield or something. Who knows? All right. So again, these are current Sabres. My number 1 pick is going to be none other than Mr. Tage Thompson.
Oh, wow. That's a surprise to me.
I'm going with Tage because I believe in the player a lot. I think even last year he had his injuries and he still almost put up 30 goals and led our team in scoring. I like the strides he's kind of made defensively, so I think he can kind of help out a little bit there if we need to. I'm kind of thinking I'm drafting more so for fun as opposed to actual defense, right? So if he can help me out a little bit there, that'll be just a little bonus. But I think the sky's the limit with him. He was banged up last year, but he's ascending, and I think there's good things to come for him. It would have been really hard between him and Darlene. Those guys are right up there. That's my top 2 tier players right there. But we're starting for Team Matt. We're going with Tage Thompson with the number 1 overall pick in the fantasy draft.
It's so funny that you mentioned someone's going to get left off our team and be like, oh, how could you leave this player off? And it's these are just my favorite players, guys. There are some guys that are obviously good players, but then there are some guys that I just, over my lifetime as a Sabres fan, just kind of fell in love with. With my first pick, I'm going to take Darlene, obviously. I needed defense.
Yeah.
So my conversation earlier, before we started, was that the crop of defensemen that the Sabres have had historically are not game breakers really at all. So my thought here is I need that game breaker to start me off.
Yep. I mean it's a good strategy. Yeah. All right, let me put him in here. So we got Darlene number 1.
Yep. To pair
Can't argue with that.
Off the current roster. Mm-hmm. We should just, you know what I'm thinking, dude? We should just go back and forth.
No way. Do the snake. What do you mean?
Do you want to do snake?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
we can't make that change on the fly like this. We're like Donnie Meatballs. Once we think of a strategy, we're going. There's no adapting on the fly. We're just
on the fly. All right. My second pick is going to be JJ Peterka.
Okay. You care to elaborate at all?
I just love the kid. I could have went a multitude of ways here, but I think he's going to break out and be one of our top leading scorers for years to come. I mean, he's going to hit 30 goals, and I just love the kid. And he had the best goal song this year out of all the Sabres, in my opinion.
Okay, I actually like that pick from you because, again, I kind of tiered all these players out, and JJ Peterka was in my tier 2 as far as Sabres player go, but he was the 3rd player out of my second tier. So I'm actually going to be able to grab my next 2 rated players right behind Darlene, which I'm pretty excited about. So thank you for making that a possibility. And number 1, I understand this might be a little controversial for some of the people out there, but we're taking Dylan Cousins.
Okay. I like I like this pick.
Yeah,
You're
I've
strong. You're strong down the middle
yeah,
already.
it's no strange or if no surprise that I've spoken about how I like Dylan Cousins. Obviously, we were frustrated this year with things, but I have a lot of faith in him. I also like the fact that like, listen, I don't need him to score on this team. I'm gonna be loaded with goal scorers on this team that I'm about to draft right now. So Cousins, if I get secondary scoring from him, so be it. I just need him to drive a little offense from time to time. And if he has to get he's got to get his nose dirty a little bit, whatever. He's got a little grit to him. We're gonna bring that out. So we're going with Dylan Cousins there. And for the wraparound pick, I got to do it. I got to get the big defenseman, the big boy, Owen Power,
Look at
with the
that.
wraparound.
You're starting off real well. This is great for you.
I did want one defenseman because they're going to be a little bit more limited as we go here throughout the process. And I'm a
I
big Owen
almost
Power fan, so
I almost took both of them. I almost took Power and Dahlin from you. That would have been funny. I would have put you in a fucking bind right away.
yeah, it would have been crazy. Did you have Well, all right. I'm getting
Well,
ahead of myself.
we'll
Take your last
discuss who
guy.
we had in our list.
Yeah,
We can recap our lists after we get to each section here.
yeah, yeah.
So my next pick, one of my favorite guys. I really hope that he's healthy this year. The guy that can't get women in bars, Jack Quinn.
I knew it was coming.
This guy, this guy, him and Paterka, I'm sticking him together. Just you wait. I'm gonna when we set up our lines, I'm sticking Paterka and Quinn together between a center or the outside of a center, and they're gonna light it up, dude. They're gonna light it up. Jack Quinn can score goals. J.J. Paterka can score goals. We're in business here. I like the way I'm starting off.
Mhm. Yeah, you know what? Too bad for you though that I got your sentiment on my side.
That's okay. That's okay because I'm getting some positional flexibility, and and my team's going to be great. Just wait. You know how Joe Marino talks about positional flexibility with offensive linemen? That's going to be my team. So
All right,
so
so
let's
that's the
recap.
end of the current Sabers. Yeah, yeah. Any So this is great. This is great. I like what I did here. I basically have a forward, a centerman, and a defenseman. I like the I think I have a sure thing in Tage. Obviously, he's a proven talent. I think Cousins is a proven talent too. Where who knows how high the ceiling is, but like I said, I like him overall. And then Power, I think he's going to be a stud. He's just got to kind of grow into things in a little bit. What do you think about your start here?
Like I got you know already in my opinion, if he keeps playing at the trajectory he's playing, one of the best Sabres defensemen of all time in Rasmus Dahlin. And then two young, fast goal scorers in John Jason Paterka and Jack Quinn. But dude, I was thinking about your roster. You could put Cousins, like you said, he's a versatile forward. Cousins, he could play center or wing. So this is great options for you.
I'm going to be interested to see who you match with Darlene. That could be really interesting. Who's going to be on that top D line for you? We'll obviously see that to come, but that'll be cool. Honorable
Do
mentions
you
for
want to
me
hear
in this round would have
honorable
been
mentions? Yeah.
yeah. So I had Quinn on my obviously Paterka was in my second tier, Darlene in my first tier. I had Jack Quinn on my list as well. I had rated 9 current Sabres that I would have wanted to draft on my team. I actually had Quinn number 8. Before Quinn, I had Benson and Tuck, and then I had Levi after Quinn. I honestly think I know Benson's only like 18, or maybe he just turned 19. I don't know, but like we talked last show about how we think Jack Quinn's ceiling is maybe a little higher than Paterka, even though Paterka's already kind of proven himself, and their two ceilings could be somewhat similar. I think that Benson's ceiling might even be higher than both of them combined, and so that would be more of a pick like for the future, I guess. But so that's why I had Benson above both Tuck and Quinn, Levi to round out. But I'm not. You're not taking Levi. There's better goalies to come.
Yeah, I had Benson on my list, Tuck and I had UPL on my list.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. We'll go. Okay. We'll
No,
shout out to
I
UPL.
left off Devin. I left off Devin Levi just because I wanted to pick one goalie here. It might have been UPL, but I didn't pick him because, like you said, we got some great goaltenders coming up.
All
Let's
right.
move to the worst era of Sabres hockey. This is like
Oh
has
man.
been. I mean, obviously it hasn't been great the last 2 years, but it's definitely been more exciting. But this was what I like to call the doldrums. Has me questioning my fanhood at times.
This
But
is a tough
there
pick for
are,
you at number one, dude. I don't know what you're gonna do here with this
it's not a
first pick,
tough
though.
pick. It's
I
not a
know it's
tough
not a
pick
tough pick, but it could be.
because you know what I'm doing? I'm taking one of my favorite players, one of my favorite Sabres of all time, Tyler Ennis.
Wow, that is a shocker.
I loved this kid growing up, even though like he kind of entered the team during the like the era before, like 2011, like 10 11ish era, but 2013 and 14 was like when he really started getting legitimate games.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love this guy.
Yeah, he was
I
great.
He was just a fucking little water bug out there. Played some center later in his Sabres tenure, which kind of like didn't work out. That was kind of like when they were trying to figure some stuff out. But yeah, I couldn't leave this draft without Tyler Ennis.
All right, you opened the door wide open for me on my back-to-back picks here, and I love it. And I love it. All right, so you know
I
what?
gave I gave you somebody.
Yeah, well, I don't know if anyone's thinking I'm going to take him, but all right, we're drafting for skill, right? So if we're doing that, I gotta start by taking the Stanley Cup champion, Mr. Jack Eichel, and I hate it with every freaking cell in my body, but I gotta do it.
I did this on purpose because I was thinking that you might not pick him, which would be so funny.
Oh, a little gamesmanship there, seeing
Well, you
seeing
are
what
the
we do.
resident Eichel hater of this podcast.
Oh yeah, I totally hate him, but you know what? It is what it is. When I'm a GM, I got to make those hard decisions, and sometimes you got to bring someone on board you don't like if they can help you win. So,
I went from the heart. I went from the heart, dude.
but he brings pedigree now. He brings a Stanley Cup champion to my team, and that's what I like. But I got my second center there, so that's a good start there. And oh man, you're only going to get one more pick from this era. So see, this is where my strategy is coming in a little bit here because there's an easy second that I could go with here. Oh man,
Here's my question:
yeah.
are we taking these players based off of that era of Sabres hockey, or based off that era, like what they are now?
No, you're getting what they are. Yeah, you're getting at them at their peak.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. Well, yeah. We should have mentioned that, but yeah. You're getting so like for you, like you're getting peak Tyler Ennis. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I'm getting peak.
Tyler Ennis goal scoring,
Yeah.
good, good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. So same thing. Like if I like, there's a lot of names here, right? Because we're going back. So like whatever name you select now, like you're getting them at their peak. So a name that really pops out to me right now, like Eric Stahl, right? Like that name pops out to me. Because like that's solid centerman there, right? I mean, not necessarily for the Sabres, but great career.
That's
Uh,
like cheating, dude.
what do you mean? That would be a great pick.
He, I fucking hate Eric Stahl with every fiber of my being.
Imagine that lineup though down the center. Look, Cousins at action,
Yeah,
Eichel,
fuck
Eric
that.
Stahl.
Make it different. I'm not allowing you to take Eric Stahl.
I wasn't taking him anyways. I'm torn here. But you only have one more pick, so I'm just gonna go for it. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I didn't see myself going this way because I have him rated a little lower in my tier, but we're going with Mr. Drew Stafford.
See, this is great because Stafford could have been like in the next section or this section. Like this was still like, you know, later end of his career, Drew Stafford. But I mean, he's fucking Drew Stafford. I was just gonna talk about the Foligno and Stafford line in, I think it was 2013 actually. So the Sabres didn't make the playoffs, and Marcus Foligno comes up, and he's a young player getting his first taste of NHL hockey, being centered by Tyler Ennis with Drew Stafford on his wing. And if any of you guys remember that like small like 20 game sample, they were dominant together. Like it was so much fun. Almost willed the Sabres into the playoffs, but it just wasn't to be.
So you know what's funny about like Drew Stafford is like I remember we used to in gym class, me and my buddy Derek, like we would always like we'd always warm up by like running around the gym. Like we do like a few laps, and we just would always like check each other into the walls and just say like Drew Stafford. So he just got like he's got a place in my heart, because we used to mess around with him. But yeah, Stafford was great, man. Stafford was great. All right, who you got? Who you take? Who's closing out your era here?
So my era is being closed out by Sam Reinhart.
Ah, damn.
It's Sam Reinhart, man. Current 57 goal scorer. I love this guy. I really want him to be signed by the Buffalo Sabres this offseason. Like, just right that wrong.
Could you imagine bringing Lindy back and him?
Right after he wins his Stanley Cup with the Florida Panthers, bringing him back, and I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about him coming back to play for us. Even though it's probably not going to happen, but in my little world, he's putting on the blue and gold again.
Dude, you stole him from me. You know why? You know why I didn't take him there?
Why is that?
Because he's a UFA this year.
He's going to be in the UFA.
And I was going to try and sneak him down low, too.
Yep.
So that was my initial thought, is that I'm like, all right, he's only got one more pick. Chances are it's Reinhart. But if he zags, then I still might be able to get, Reinhart as a UFA. But hey, maybe the Sabres actually will. But any honorable mentions in this? Anyone we didn't really talk about or you would have considered here?
The only other honorable mention I had was Marcus Foligno. This was a god-awful era of Sabres hockey. Like, oh my lord.
No Ryan O'Reilly?
Fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously there's like history there, I know, but like he's a good player.
I know. You could have also snuck Thomas Vanek in this era and Jason Pominville too.
The other guy I had on my list, honestly, was Middlestat. Like I would have been fine with Middlestat.
Yeah, that would have been a fine pick too. But I'm putting Reinhart at center in this mock-up.
Okay. So that makes it 5 apiece.
Yep.
So Ryan so far, Dahlin, Peterka, Quinn, Ennis, and Reinhart. And I got Thompson, Cousins, Power, Eichel, and Stafford. All right. So then, Ryan, you are kicking off the golden era, at least of our Sabres hockey lives, 05 to 13. Hockey, if you take my guy right here, I'm going to be so fucking mad because, I want my top guy, and you got the first. I'm going to be so mad.
Okay. I'm looking at my roster. What do I need? Okay. All right. I could go any which way here. I need a center. I need a versatile forward that could play wing or center or another winger. I also need 3 defensemen. With that being said,
no.
My first pick from the golden era of Sabres hockey is gonna be Danny Briere. It's Danny Briere, man.
All right, that wasn't my guy.
It goes so many different ways. I mean, I can't wait to when we're done picking our 4 players from this era to just gush about how all of them made me fall in love with hockey. I could recite the lineup, player for player, from that cup run from 05 and 06.
Oh my gosh, great.
The 06 team and the 06-07 team. Both teams, I could just recite the lines, and it's just like, you got to pick the best player, dude. And Daniel Briere, number 48, number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah. He is the slug. All right, so that's good. You did not. You started talking about defensemen, and you made me nervous because I need someone to pair with Owen Power here. So
I know who you're gonna pick.
I don't know if you know who I'm gonna pick. You still haven't paired anybody with Dahlin yet. All right, so with my first pick, I am selecting my captain here, and that's going to be Chris Drury, of course.
Okay. Ew. Also, fuck that guy.
Why?
Just there's history there. Do you know why both Drury, well, I combined the two. Do you know the lore behind why Drury and Briere both left the Sabres on July 1st, 2007?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I've heard it before, but jog my memory.
So, early in the year, Chris Drury was upset that the Sabres didn't offer him a contract, so he was going to UFA anyway. They also didn't offer Danny Briere a UFA contract until after the playoffs were over. And Briere was about to take a 5-year, $25 million deal, and Chris Drury said, I'm not talking to you guys. You waited too long, and left for the Rangers. So we lost both of them because Briere said if Drury's not coming back, I'm not coming back. So
Dude, it's crazy how much that money's changed, right? 5 for 5. Like, come
I know,
on. Like, that's
I
chump
know.
change
We're
now.
number one center. We're number one center.
Yeah,
That's like a
yeah.
third line winger right there. That's
Oh
third line
my
wing money.
gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, all right. So I got Drury there.
Who else? Who else? Chris Drury.
Dude, just I mean, he's a winner though. He's a winner. I mean, he was the captain. He came through in clutch moments. Now he's doing good things in New York as a GM. So I'm stoked. I was always a big fan of Chris Drury when he was here. All right, and then I'm gonna back this up with my second defenseman,
Okay.
who's gonna play alongside Owen Power and bring some grit and some sandpaper to that first D line, and that's going to be none other than Jay McKee.
Wow. Wow.
We got
Even
the
some heavy hitters off this list, dude.
the big boys. I mean, that is a solid first line. McKee to stop all the pucks, Power to get the little bit of finesse, a little bit of offense. I like the combination of skill sets there.
Wow. I'm surprised. And I'm not taking Brian Campbell, but it really feels awful leaving him off this list.
I had two top tier defensemen in this list, and it was McKee and Campbell. It just came down to who I wanted to pair with Power, and
Yeah.
my heart told me McKee.
McKee ate pucks for lunch,
Oh
breakfast,
my
and
god,
dinner.
yeah. Sometimes I
So,
don't even know how he got back up after some of those
oh,
shots, but that dude
yep,
was
I
just
know.
yeah.
So we're rounding out the golden era, and there are some heavy hitters being left off this list. The Rock, no Roy, no Vanek, no Pominville, no
Mm-hmm.
Connolly, no Tolinder, no Afenaganov, no
Yeah.
Tyler Myers. You know who I'm taking, baby. Number one goalie in my heart, Ryan Miller.
Very nice. Very nice. I mean, that's so clutch. I was the only other name you didn't mention that I had on my list was I had Coletta and Kodalik. Kind of,
Okay.
they were down
Yep.
there. It kind of that would have depended on how like this was shaken out. Like if I felt I needed just a bruiser, I could have went with Coletta.
Could have
Kodalik was
taken
always someone I loved.
one of us could have taken Andrew Peters, and then we screenshot this and sent it to him, and he posts about us on After the Whistle.
So you know better than anyone. Well, maybe not anyone. Like my other buddies growing up know as well. But like I've always been horrible at knowing numbers. Like
Yeah.
I just like if you ask me like most of the Bills right now, like I've been watching them for years. I just couldn't tell you their numbers. I just never know. But the one man, and I could sound so dumb right now if I don't get this right, but the one man that I've always known his number for whatever reason is Aleshko Kodalik and number 12.
Yeah. That's
I don't
so
know why.
it's
It's
dude,
so random.
dude, it's so fucking funny how like a random ass player like Alessio League is like revered among us because like he wasn't special. Like
Mm-mm.
you know, you remember his shootout move? He would just backhand every time and it would go in. Like
Yep.
and he was like a power play guy, like had a bomb of slap shot, but like
I think that's why I remember him because of the shootouts. Yeah.
we somehow just like love these guys. Like that just goes to show you, like even now, like if the Sabres were to make the playoffs, someone would be like Peyton Krebs is my favorite player. Just because like you like
Right.
love the random like down the lineup guy for some reason. Like you just fall in love with him. So
Oh yeah.
that's a good poll, Holy League. I didn't have him on my list.
You know what there's gonna be in like 20 years. There's gonna be some two other knuckleheads like us like starting a Sabres podcast, and they're gonna be reminiscing about Power and his shootout, how he like comes slowly from the side
Yeah.
and then like shoots it in the top corner. Like yeah. That's hilarious. But all right, so then all right. Oh, I gotta update our board here. What did you make your selection?
Yeah, I took Miller.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So you got the 1Z position off the board.
Yep.
The goalie is off. Well, you know who that leaves me later on, and I'm
Yeah,
excited about
exactly.
that.
I'm giving you the Sabres legend. I wanted a different
Yes.
Sabres legend.
All right. Well, here we go. You're starting off the wild card round, and this is any player on any current player on any team.
Listen, I'm gonna. This is some controversy here, but if anyone knows me, they know exactly what's coming here.
All right, I want to
Okay?
know. Don't say the name yet. I just want to know the team first.
Can you guess the team?
Can I guess the team? Oh,
Yep. It's any
Boston.
player. Yes.
Oh my God, it's Boston. All right, I'm. Oh, dude, well then it's got to be Pasta.
Nope.
Okay, all right.
If I'm taking anyone off the current Boston Bruins,
Don't.
one of
Oh,
my
don't.
favorite players of all time, because he's a little fucking rat. He's a rat. He's gonna spear you. He's gonna talk shit. He's gonna board you. He's gonna cry to the officials, and he's gonna score 70 points and be a playoff monster.
Oh
I
God.
need Brad Marchand on my hockey team.
Oh my gosh. Everyone just tuned out. No, I mean solid pick, solid pick. I mean you can't deny the skills. That's not where I was going. I Pasternak was on my list for sure, but you get a lot with Marchand there, so
Yep.
lots of value. But all right, I don't think you know where I'm going with this at all. You got any guesses for me?
I have no idea, dude. I have no idea where you're going with this.
All right, well we're finishing up the top line here over at Team Matt. We're getting our other winger. This player's going to pair with Dylan Cousins and Tage Thompson and be my number one line. None other than the Minnesota boy himself, Kirill Kaprizov.
Oh wow, that's a fun one. He's so fun, man. He's so fun.
I love watching him play. I just like, and you know me, like I mean, I always was a hockey fan, but really big into hockey the last few years. And I've been watching Kaprizov. Like Minnesota's kind of one of those teams that I kind of like root for a little bit on the side. Like Sabres, Canucks, like are like the top
Yeah.
two, and then I like watching Minnesota too. But I've always loved watching Kaprizov and the skill you get. That I mean, I'm not. I don't care about handedness. I'm literally just going Kaprizov on one side, Thompson on the other side, Cousins down the middle. But this man, I knew I wanted him. Like there was a few guys, and I just like did a little bit of research. I got some of these numbers, dude, are mind blowing. Okay, listen to this shit. This man he's played 278 games in the league. You want to guess how many points he has in 278 games?
265.
330.
Oh my god, he's above point per game. Wow. I
One 1.2
holy
points per
shit.
game. 1.2 points per game. So he's been in the league 4 years. In 2020, 2021, 51 points in 55 games. 21, 22, 108 points in 81 games. 22, 23, 75 points in 67 games. And then last season, 96 points in 75 games. He's scoring a goal every 2 games. He's got 160 goals in 278 games.
That's insane.
But he's just so skilled. I mean, he can dangle him and Tage on the line. I feel like you're gonna be making people dizzy out there, and I can't
Oh,
wait.
that's super exciting.
All right, so then we're getting into start of the UFAs.
Yep, we're just gonna plop some UFAs in here. Why the hell not?
Yeah, why the hell not? All right, so this is tough, and I get the first one. So I need 3 more forwards. I need 2 defensemen still, and I need my goalie. I'm going to save the goalie till later. Everyone could probably fill that in right now, but I am going to take. We're going to bring him back, Mr. Nikita Zadorov, as
Nice.
my start of my second line defenseman. I love
Okay.
this man. A little bit of size. He's gonna body people, but smart dude. He's smart, so I'm cool with that.
It's so funny because earlier in his career he was like kind of a dope, but man, that's some sandpaper you're adding to your team.
Yeah, and think about. Imagine if like this was the lineup now, like Power, like we had McKee as Zadorov on our team now, and Power could just like learn from them. Oh my god, dude, Power
Right.
he'd just be a beast. All right, who you taking?
Trying to figure this out because I need D here.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what thought just entered my mind for a
What?
second? That I'm not paying attention to bye weeks.
Oh my god. Here's a fantasy tip for you guys. If you pay attention to bye weeks, you have no idea what you're doing. Like it's irrelevant. Who cares? Half your roster is not going to be on your team. for your fantasy football players. Don't do bye weeks. We got some guys in our league that look at bye
Oh, bye
weeks,
weeks are so inconsequential.
and I'm like, oh, these are my suckers. I kind of like if I'm sitting next to someone that I know is looking at bye weeks, I'm like, oh, I know he's not going to take him because he's got a bye in week 6. So I'm watching you guys. I'm thinking. I'm in my head. You remember last year? You remember last year at our draft, I lost my voice, and you introduced us to like 2 coworkers that you were, and I couldn't even talk.
Yeah, yeah,
It was insane.
yeah. They texted me after. They were like, "What was with that guy?" No.
And I'm talkative. I mean, I'm on here. I'm fucking loud. So like, it was awful. I couldn't even speak.
Remember, I had walk-up music for every pick I made
Yeah.
last year.
Oh, that was hilarious. Yeah, you were playing like "Baby" by Justin Bieber and some Taylor Swift, and you're playing some Jay-Z. Yeah, you were playing all the hits there. I'm stalling. If you can't tell, I'm stalling because I'm
You're
really
good. You're
struggling
good. You're
with the
good.
with the UFA market here because I
The
need
U.
people.
I know the UFAs. The UFAs are tough. I have a short list.
I'm just making sure I have all my guys in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. If I had to take one UFA to pair for my team, I think I'm taking Steven Stamkos.
All right, he's definitely on my list. Solid pick.
I'm taking Steven Stamkos. He's not at the height of his we're getting Stamkos, now, and he's not at the height of his powers, but man, he had a ton of points last year. He had over 80 points.
Yeah,
Guy can
he's still good.
guy can still play. And I get the
I mean,
wraparound. I get the wraparound.
he could be this. He could wear the C on your team too. I mean, you have a few
I got
options there,
plenty of.
but
I got leadership is not a question on this hockey team. We
you
might
think
be.
so? Well, you got Darlene too. That's right. Yeah,
We got Marchand wears a C. Briere
yeah.
wore a C. We got Darlene. We have plenty of leadership on this team.
Okay,
We might
okay,
be a little
okay.
soft though. I'm a little worried about. I'm a little worried how soft we are. On D, I'm taking Brett Pesce.
Okay.
That's going to be my pair with Darlene. I'm afraid of the whole Carolina system and someone leaving Carolina. I'm not sure if they're going to be the same player, but I like Brett Pesce. I want him to be added to the real Sabres.
So yeah, I mean, and that's I know you have that like reservation just because of that system being like set like it sets people up for success, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm surprised you went with you. So you like him more than Shea?
Yes, I think I do.
Yeah, because Shea's on my list, and that's a possibility for me here over these next couple picks here. But you definitely stole Stamkos from me here.
Can
All
you
right, so
can you scroll down on the
yeah, yeah,
thing?
yeah. Oh yeah, I'll move down a little bit.
Okay.
How's that? Good.
Yep, that's good.
Let me see if I can go up. Oh, there we go. That's perfect. If I could go up like one more like tiny hair, it'd be even better. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's sexy right there. That's everything we
Oh, I
need to
like that.
see. All right, so here's where I got to think strategically, just what I need whole rise in my roster. So I only need one more defenseman, and I have 2 UFA signings left in a Sabres prospect, right? So I probably don't want the prospect to be a defenseman. I got my Legends picks too,
Yep.
but don't really have a lot of defenseman options there. There's certainly one option, but I think I'm gonna have to take another defenseman here. I don't have to though. Actually, no, no. You know what? Screw it. I don't have to. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna Yeah. I'm gonna wait it. I'm gonna take some forwards. All right. So I mean, I'd be a fool if I didn't take this man. And we're gonna take
Jake
Mr.
Gensel.
Jake Gensel. Yeah, playoff performer. Just, I mean, he's been there before. Got a lot of experience. He's gonna get paid. You think he's gonna stay in Carolina?
Um. Yes, I think Gensel's going to stay in Carolina.
Yeah, yeah.
They're going through a weird they don't have a GM really. I mean, I know like Tulski. I forget his first name, but their uh current GM is interim because uh what's his face? Oh my God, why am I fucking blanking right now? Who left for Columbus?
From Carolina?
Yeah, Waddell. Don Waddell. He left. He stepped
Oh
down
yeah, I
as
wouldn't have known that.
GM of Carolina, and he's in Columbus now. And Carolina is looking for a GM, and it's kind of odd that they're not elevating Eric Tulsky to GM like right away because he is one of the original founders of advanced statistics in hockey. Literally had a hockey blog in like the 2010s, and now he's the interim GM and built their analytics station in Carolina, and they're still going to hire someone over him. That's kind of disrespectful to me, honestly. Like this guy has earned it, and if they're not gonna give him the job, then why would he stay? It makes no sense to me. But dude, that's two Carolina UFAs we're adding to our teams here.
I know, and I could be coming in with a third here potentially. Oh man, this is where it gets tough. This is where I got to do a little bit more planning. I got 4 picks left. All right, so I basically have an opening right now, one defenseman and then one forward, but I don't want the defenseman prospect. Okay, oh man, that's tough. This is tough. This is tough. There's so many possibilities. All right, I'm just gonna do it because I think I don't want to take a defenseman prospect, and I'm not planning on taking a legend defenseman, so I got to take him here. And the other big name that's going to be out there from my other team that I was rooting for this year,
Damn
the
you!
the
Damn
man
you!
with the flow, Chris Tanev. So come on
Oh,
over. So he's going to be with Zadorov.
what a fucking pair! Hey, that was like an actual pair before he left. I think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that like that was a real pair at some point in real life.
yeah, could have been, could have been.
Because he,
So even
because
better, we already got some chemistry there.
they moved him to Dallas.
Yep,
No,
yep.
Flames did.
No, Tanev was with Calgary.
Yeah, yeah. I get
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I get Calgary, those Western teams. I get them confused.
yeah, yeah.
But Tanev at one point was with the Canucks. At one point. Um, Great pick though. Great pick. My brain is just totally scrambled today. I'm like not locked in.
Good thing we're not locked in Sabres.
I know. So yeah, we're locked on. We're not locked on either. Dude, my pick for my second UFA is gonna be none other than Mr. Showtime himself, Patrick Kane.
Nice. And this is actually your third. You're all fucking over the place right now.
My third UFA. Oh my, what is happening, bro? What is happening?
I like it though. I think Kane again. You're get like with the UFAs. We said you're getting them at what they are now, but Kane showed that he could still play. So I think you feel better about that now than maybe a year ago when you still weren't sure how he was going to come back after the injury, right?
Yep. I
Yeah.
like I like it, man. I the three guys that I chose for my UFA, I would not be opposed to the Sabres actually going out and getting them. I think the guys that you chose for UFA in real life, I think they're out of reach. Like they're unrealistic for the Sabres.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
But the three that I chose we might be splashing the cash there.
Yeah, and so I think like other options I had here. I mean, I already Gensel was I took the three that I had there, and then I also Brady Shea was someone that I'm a fan of. He's somebody that I wouldn't mind like the Sabres targeting this offseason as well. And I don't know, I just like the way that he plays in Carolina, and like you said, so all right, so that rounds out
Well,
the
I was gonna ask
UFAs.
you who my honorable mentions were. Goddamn.
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't know if you had any.
Oh shit! I just xed out. Oh my god. What is going on?
This is why I was avoiding this disaster.
So I had Toffoli, I had Tyler Toffoli,
And Toffoli,
John
I was looking
Despair,
at.
Jake DeBrusk, and Brendan Dillon, also on
Okay,
my list.
okay, yeah, yeah. I did not have Dylan, but Toffoli and DeBrusque were thoughts for sure. But
Okay.
all right, so then you are first with the prospect.
Yeah, so my prospect is gonna be someone that we love dearly. He's a great player. He's getting a lot of hate right now because he had a subpar playoffs with the Rochester Americans. But I need another center. I need a 3C with potential on this team. So I'm going with Yuri Kulik.
Nice. I like it. I like it. That's an interesting choice there. I would have thought you've been championing Rose in there, but
I know I have. But I needed another center.
yeah, I mean, and he's he's a goal scorer too. I mean, so I like it. I like it. All right, you got any guesses for who I'm going for here?
Ryan Johnson.
No, no, my defensemen are all right. Take it. So he would have been my pick if I like,
I
but
know.
I
I'm just
can't,
fucking around because we don't like him anymore, apparently.
dude. I actually like Ryan Johnson, but I thought he did good when it's here. When he was here. But no, I'm going with Savoy. I'm gonna take
Okay.
Savoy.
Nice
Savoy
pick.
here. Yeah, I think right now he's probably my top guy as far as like prospects go. I'm excited to watch him next year in Rochester. Who knows if he makes the Sabres next year or not? But yeah, so he's going to be right now. He's alongside Chris Drury on my third line. So I will certainly take that. And then my first Sabres legend here. I'm gonna just fill out the rest of my roster, and then I'll leave the man himself for to be Mister Irrelevant. But this is gonna be one of my favorite players from the past, Miroslav Shatan.
Nice.
I just love this man. I have so many memories of like watching him as a kid and just like all his goals and things. And he's got just an awesome name too. And yeah, so I mean, there you go, Drury, Savoy, and Shatan with 9-3. Like it.
And I know you're leaving for last. So we're gonna talk about the guys. Before I pick, we're gonna talk about the guys that we're leaving off the team because I need two defensemen. Dude, Sabres history has a ton of fun players. You can go back, you can take any three of the French Connection. You can take Danny Gare, like we're going way back. You could take Dave Andrechuk. You can take, even Doug Gilmour did a stint for the Sabres. He was kind of bad when he played for the Sabres, like toward the end of his career.
You
You
got
can
Howard
take
Chuck in there.
Dale Hawerchuk in there, Alexander McGillney, the first Russian player to defect to North America. If you ever want to look at a fun, like a crazy story, try to find like sources that have written about McGillney's defection. Like the Sabres had to go over to Russia and smuggle him back to America. It's a crazy story. Just, but my first Sabres legend that I'm taking also coached the Sabres at one point, and that's
Okay.
Phil
Yep.
Housley.
Yep. I feel like for me, defenseman. Like, did you have any other defensemen like like up with him?
No, but I do need another defenseman. But like we said earlier, defensemen, like there have been some guys that we've liked, obviously, like our parents have liked, and our grandparents have been like, oh, you should have saw this guy play. He was tough. He was amazing. Like, but Housley, man, this guy was like generational offensive talent at a time where no one really saw that kind of thing, like since Bobby Orr. And this guy was so good offensively. He was playing forward sometimes. It's incredible.
So you're
I'm just like,
is he on your first line with Darlene?
oh, we're going full bore offense here. We're going full on.
I love
Wait,
it.
like Darlene can defend. We got two elite puck movers on my top pair,
That is nice. I love it. I love it.
and for my second pair defenseman, my last pick. I was gonna go with Mike Ramsey because my dad always talked about how tough this fucker was, but I'm going with Lindy Ruff on the back
Oh
end.
man.
I'm going
Wow.
with Lindy Ruff on the back end here, and that's gonna round out my team.
I love it. I love
Guy
it.
is a Sabres lifer. He is Mr. Sabre.
He can coach too.
No, I've heard he's a hell of a coach. Hell of a coach. Hell of a leadership crew we have on this team. Holy shit.
All right.
You're
So
looking
then,
for a captain. You got piss baby Eichel on your team.
dude, no, I got Drury, man. Drury's my C. Get
Yeah,
out of here.
you think he can whip Eichel in line? We'll see about that.
Yeah. You know what? I part of me really wanted to if it shook out this way and I needed a defenseman still, I would have totally taken Rob Ray. and I would have had and I would have had I would have had Zadorov, McKee, and Rob Ray, and we would have just been the freaking Bash Brothers,
I
man.
do love like those enforcers that like played D and forward in their career because it's like we're just gonna fucking stick you anywhere and you're just gonna chuck knuckles.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Speaking
but it
of
didn't work out that way.
speaking of Rob Ray, look what I got a signed Rob Ray bobblehead sitting right here. So yeah, speaking of our guy Rob,
I like it. I like it. Oh, that's signed. That's signed too.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
Of course you're taking Hasek. I mean, come on. One
Yeah,
of us
yeah.
was ending
I
up with
got to.
Hasek, and one of us was ending up with Miller. Like, there's no contest.
Although I got to fix that. I cannot have a typo in his
Yeah, you can't
name.
have that.
So
You can't. You spelled Housley wrong too.
is there no E?
EY.
All right. See, I
But yeah,
can't have that. Can't have that.
Dominic fucking Hasek, man, the best goalie to ever lace up the skates and put the pads on. I don't care what anybody says. He's better than Waugh, better than anyone, dude. Better than Brodeur. It's our guy. It's Dominic Hasek.
What a goalie matchup this would be, though. Seeing a
Oh,
game where you could get like Prime Miller versus Prime Hasek, like, come on, that would be so fun, man. I love this. What a fun exercise. Do you have
I know.
any? We could debate the teams in a second, but like, do you have any like after doing this, like any like overarching thoughts about things or like any takeaways from like the exercise as a whole?
It was fun, man, to even just reminisce about the old good teams and looking through the rosters from 2013, 2022. Like obviously we know the players, but I'm looking just in case I'm overlooking someone.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I was not overlooking anyone. They were fucking terrible.
yeah. I think that was one of my biggest. I think my two big takeaways from this was like I guess like I guess the one big takeaway is that you can just see the big differences in like the eras where obviously like we talked about how like for the '05 to 2013 Sabres like we each had like 12 names and then because it was just stud after stud after stud
Yep.
after stud and it was just deep rosters, right? And even if you look at those years like you can go hockey reference whatever like there's so many guys that have crazy point totals or like not even crazy point totals but like good point totals, contributors to the team, speaks to the depth. And then you get to the years 2013 to 2022. And I mean, my list included Casey Middlestat, and I had 5 names. You know what I mean? It's like there's just not. It's just been so bad for
For
so long. I
for a
mean,
9-year period, we had 5 guys.
yeah, and there's guys in there like Montour and Rodriguez who went to other teams and
Yeah,
whatnot,
but
but like
I don't
they're
remember.
not like true difference makers.
Right. I mean, I'm remembering them as Sabres. Like Rodriguez was good, but he's not what he is now. Montour was kind of shit as a Sabre. Not gonna lie, he was not good until he got to Florida.
No, yeah. And then I guess the other thing is like about the current Sabres is like I was just kind of surprised that like when I made the list that like how many I actually didn't want. I think and like again I like this team but I'm just kind of like they need some guys. Like we talked about this, but like they just got to get some more names in here because I mean Benson was on my list and Quinn's on my list, a guy who's been hurt. Like I like these players, but there's just a lack of enough just like guys who have kind of been there, done that, and that's what we got to find this offseason. But it's kind of interesting to see the different eras, as we went through. But what is your what is your favorite pick here out of all this? Like, do you have a favorite pick on your team?
My favorite pick out of all this is probably Danny Briere, dude. Like
Yeah,
amazing player. I think he's going to be a great GM too for Philly. I think he's really going to turn that team into like a powerhouse. And it's Danny Briere, dude. Like so many memories, even in that small period of time. Just can't gush over him enough. What was your favorite pick of your team?
oh man, I mean, I know it's fantasy land, but I think my favorite pick was Kaprizov. I just love watching him and like just being if like he ever like I mean it's not going to happen, but like having him the on the Sabres, like just guys like that, man, he's just so awesome and so fun to
Also,
watch. But
very elite hockey number that he wears too. I
dude,
gotta factor in the number, dude.
I don't even know what number he is.
97, man. That's a great number. Like that's a
That's how many
random
points he's going to
high
have this
ass
year.
number. Probably 97.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And then I'll remember his number. There we go.
I really want you to clip the part where I take Brad Marchand because people are gonna be so mad.
All right, we'll do that. That round is fun. The wild card round was fun. We should do another one of this in like a month or two, and just like, but have different concepts. Like this was fun. We can do this again in the future for sure. But all right, so then the big question before I move on to other stuff: who would win if these two teams duked it out? Who would win?
Best of 7 series.
Yep, in a best of seven, who's taking it?
I like my roster better than yours because I'm biased and I would like my roster better than yours, but I can't bet against the Dominator.
Yeah, he might be just the difference maker,
Yeah, the
honestly.
guy he's holding every, like, I don't care how many shots I have, he's holding every game to two. Like, you're winning if you score more than 2 goals.
Yeah, I'm surprised you conceded him to me with the Miller pick, but I
I
mean,
know,
he's
but it's
still.
Miller, man. I
I
love him.
know, I know, I know. He's awesome. He's awesome. All right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this as much as we did. I know this was a bunch of fun. We'll post this on the socials, and hopefully some people can will see it and interact, and who knows, we could do some more fun stuff like this in the future. But that's it. So yeah, we'll move on to. I don't. Do we? Is
We
there
just
any
want to
like?
touch on some things here.
Yeah. Any like what do you want? Any Sabres news items we want to get to before we kind of get into like playoffs and stuff?
Yeah, well, I can. Let me find the tweet from. So there's been a lot of chatter around the Sabres lately. Like a lot of exciting chatter. I was kind of wish casting that this would be the truth, but in the back of my head, and I know you've reiterated that, like, until it happens, you don't believe that Kevin Adams is going to do the things to make the Sabres, competitive. But today, Elliot Friedman said that the Sabres' first round pick is in play, 11th overall, and there's a lot of talk around Buffalo. There's a lot of smoke around Buffalo. He said that ownership thinks it's a make or break year for them, and that can force you to be aggressive. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's the. Sorry, I got sidetracked because I got this random text from Katie that was in a different language, but it's she's sending me stuff she wants on Amazon. All right, I was nervous there for a second, but
I think you thought Katie got hacked.
yeah, I was like, what is going on? I mean, that's just the truth, right? I mean, so like it is. I think it's there's no longer the leash on Adams is no longer loose, right? So he's got to do it this year, and I mean you can't go into this season saying the expectation is playoffs, right? And then not have that expectation the next year. So if you fail to accomplish that 2 years in a row, then that's true. And how long are you going to keep doing the same things? Like we said, you can't just keep taking these draft picks or calling up the young kids to just do the same thing and miss the playoffs. It's time to make the organizational shift to the focus is winning, and we're gonna show and do everything in our power to make that a reality. So
I have a question to pose for you. So, off the back of the Sabres being aggressive, let's say it doesn't work out again next year. Is Adams fired?
yes,
Does that also mean that Lindy is fired?
no,
You think he'd stay for another year? Like a new GM wouldn't change the coach or anything? Do you think he would stay?
I think he would stay. I think he would
Okay.
stay because I think if you miss the playoffs again, the Sabres are still in turmoil. So what kind of coach are you getting? And I think in that scenario that Lindy wasn't only Adams' hire, he was Terry's hire too. And unless Terry sells the team in that same year, I think that he's going to have some pull there. And if it's again not this stud head coach that's coming in, then it could easily be something that Terry says, "Hey, like I'm going to give you this job because we need a guy, and all the top guys that are available aren't coming in right now, but Lindy's my guy." And maybe he does that. And he might even just tell him, hey, he's got only one more year left. And then, let's see how it goes and we can transition to your guy there or whatever. But I don't think those two have to be in sync.
Makes sense to me. Yeah,
What
I
do you
get
think?
that. I think I'm right there with you that I think like Adams would definitely like. There are some people that were telling me today that like if they miss playoffs that they don't think that Adams gets fired. And I'm like, oh, dude, he's gone. Like the whole
He's
front
gone.
office is probably gone. Like we can't keep doing this. Like I like the picks he's made. Like drafting has been totally fine, but like you said, man, I mean even shit like Elliot has said, it's put up or shut up time. Like
Yeah.
you have to make the playoffs
Hmm.
this season. You have to. Like it is there's no question about it. Like we can't be panicking in December about missing again.
Look Kekalainen. I mean, that man got fired, and like he made the playoffs in half his years. It's like
Yeah.
Adams hasn't done anything yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he misses again, he's like 0 for 4 or whatever. Like come on, no, you can't accept that.
So
It would
yeah,
be
that's it's scary, but I'm scared but excited. Like I don't know. I think like with maybe even during the finals, the combine is in Buffalo like currently. Like the NHL draft combine is starting next week. So all
yeah.
the GMs are here, all the agents are here because they're all representing these kids that are working out. People are going to be talking, man. People are talking. And when there's smoke, there's fire. Elliot is not usually putting things out there that are wrong. So
Hmm.
we're about
Hmm.
to get active. We're getting
Yep.
active.
Yep. Well, let's do it. I wanna react to this stuff, and I want to make some waves and just feel relevant again, and just get a little juice flowing into this team and into this city about this hockey team again. It started with Ruff. I mean, Ruff coming here is it's going to do what they want it to do. You're going to sell more tickets. People are already somewhat buzzing about that. But if they make moves and truly improve this roster, and you got Lindy at the helm, there's going to be some excitement in Buffalo again. Come puck drop, next season, and I mean, we'll see what happens from that. But all right, anything else here?
On the Sabres, there was like a little bit of rumblings that the Amerks hired a coach, but like they haven't made it official. So if they do hire a coach within the next couple of days, we'll just talk about it next week.
Yeah, yeah. All right, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So let's get into the playoffs here. Then our Stanley Cup final is set. It is not at all what I had predicted, which because my Stanley Cup final, of course, was Dallas and Rangers. We get the Edmonton Oilers and the Florida Panthers, who both win their series in 6 games. Surprised at all by the results of the finals, and what do you think about the upcoming matchup?
Dude, I'm so excited. This is gonna pull massive ratings, I think. You
It's
got the
going 100
two of the
percent.
best players in the world. Canada's team in
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton against a freaking juggernaut in Florida. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be fantastic. I'm looking forward to every game. It really just depends on the goalies to me. Like I like both rosters. Florida's definitely a little deeper, but Edmonton has killed off 27 straight penalties. The record is 40 for a playoff run. Dude, they've killed off 27. That's
That's
so
crazy.
many penalties, dude. Like they're no slouch. Like people
Yeah.
might just be like, "Oh, they're McDavid merchants." No, they're not. Like they're depth guys out depth Dallas, and that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, didn't think that they stood a chance. I mean, they just beat Dallas 3 games in a row.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought there was no way in hell they were even going to win 3 out of 4 games, and then they win 3 in a row against Dallas. Um, yeah, it's pretty crazy, and I think as far as like ratings go in the NHL, I mean, they got to be as much as we love Dallas, like Edmonton winning is the best thing
they're
for
so happy.
viewership. Yep, yep. And they probably would have preferred the Rangers in there over Florida, but I mean, Florida, they're the best team. Like they were the best team in the East for sure, and they showed it against the Rangers there, and they don't have any holes. Bobrovsky is so good, but it's hard to just say like in this series coming up that like but they just have like a huge edge in net because I thought the same thing about Edmonton and Dallas and Skinner. I mean, he didn't kill him. Like he had a couple goals though during the series where you're like, oh man, but like he didn't do too bad, and so I think that if he Edmonton has a shot with obviously Connor McDavid and Hyman's just been finding the net like crazy.
And
They have the ability to put the puck in the net, and Skinner. All Skinner has to do is just not kill him, and they can make this. They can make this a series.
yeah, I'm right there with you, dude. Like I've been leaning Florida all season. I think I've said that Florida was the best team like since October. I was like, this is the best team in hockey. This is the best team in hockey. But I really want Connor McDavid to win the Stanley Cup, dude. I
Yeah, yeah,
Legends win cups. That's just how it works. It's his time. I just feel like it's his time, man. And Dries, we're not even talking about Leon. who
Yeah.
admittedly I don't think he's been playing that well since probably early in the
Since you said he was
Vancouver
better than
years.
McDavid.
Yeah, since I said he has been, since I said that, he hasn't been playing very well. So he's got to step up here and score some, goal line snipes because they're gonna need him, man. They're gonna need him against Florida. The most intriguing thing, though, and it's like a talking point that a lot of shows are touching on, is what is Florida gonna do with Barkov at home? Are they gonna match up Barkov against McDavid, or are they gonna try to match up McDavid with the Kachuk Rodriguez line, and it's going to be like, oh my god, like they have options, or like the third line with Anton Lundell is broken out into a third line stud here. So Florida has options to match up against McDavid, but if it were me, I think I would put Barkov against him, dude. Barkov is the premier defensive forward in hockey.
Yeah, I mean, he shut down Dallas's depth that whole series, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun,
You
man.
mean the
I'm
Rangers?
or the oh yeah, the Rangers. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm right there with you because I've always been like I've been rooting for Edmonton like the last few years just because I love McDavid and I wanted him to get it done. I said this year I just feel like I had like McDavid fatigue and whatnot, and I wasn't necessarily rooting for them. And now they're there, but now just watching them, I'm like, it's got me all pumped up again because he's just been. I mean, his goal in Game 6 to start off was insane, and it's just like he's the best player in the world without question, and it's just like watching him is just so exciting. So like seeing him on the biggest stage, and I agree with you, man. You want your stars to win them, and I hope he does. Plus, I really don't want Kyle Poso to win a Stanley Cup championship either. So
Not even just him, but all those other guys too. Montour, Rodriguez, Reinhardt. Dude, they got the whole squad.
you know what's going to be the quote? It's going to like uh, Edmonton's going to win in like 4 games, and you're going to get an
Yeah.
Poso quote after like I could just tell after Game 1 that we just weren't going anywhere, so I decided to mail it in.
Have you
Oh my
seen
god, freaking idiot!
have you seen what Chris Knobloch has said in the media yesterday? He referenced the
Yeah,
Bills.
yeah.
He
Oh my
said
god.
that because they asked him about if they're concerned about Florida's, Stanley Cup experience, and he said, "Ask the Buffalo Bills if championship experience matters." And I'm like, didn't have to catch a stray there, but it was funny.
Yeah, it was so funny. And did you hear what's the best part about that? You hear the reporter
No,
after he gave that after he gives that answer, the reporter just goes, "That was awesome."
come
Like
on.
and Knoblauch just like smiles, but it was just like
You know what's
I
funny,
mean,
dude? So I forget what show I was listening to this morning, but oh, it was 30. It was could have been 32 Thoughts. I'm misremembering, but someone said that Zach Hyman is a massive Bills fan, so
is he
now
really?
like owes him an apology.
Oh, that's
It
funny.
was
That's
really
funny.
funny.
So now that makes me like Edmonton
I
even
know,
more.
I know. Yeah, someone did send me a picture. He's been to a couple games, so.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. He's not from here though, is he?
No, he's from Canada.
Okay. All right. Is he from Eastern Canada though?
Yeah, like Toronto area.
Oh, okay. So I guess that makes sense then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're all like, dude, all those guys are Bills fans. I mean, do you
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
earlier this year when the Bills like let the Leafs on the field, and then the Sabres were like all pissed off about it? Like Marner and Matthews were like on the field and shit with the Bills, and like Dylan Cousins was in the replies being like, "Sick, we don't get this treatment."
That was
Uh,
this. That was last year.
it was this year. This year.
That was just this year. No, I
It's
don't
so funny,
remember
dude.
that.
All those Toronto guys are like Bills fans. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the Sabres were there for a couple games too, for
I
sure.
know they
But
were dead.
that's
It was funny.
that's funny. All right, so then, what you want to give a prediction for the series then?
Edmonton in 7.
Edmonton and 7. Yeah, I think it's going 7 no matter what. I'm. You know what? I'll just for to split the difference. I'll go with Florida in 7. But I think it's gonna
Okay.
be. I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be good. I think Edmonton has the best player. I think Florida's the better team. There's a lot of variables. There's so many variables in this series which could swing the pendulum either way. It's just. I think you're going to see a little bit of a different game every single night, which would be fun. So
Fun fact: there has never been a Game 7 overtime that has decided the Stanley Cup
Hmm.
in
Interesting.
the history
Okay.
of the league.
All right. So put a little money on, put a little $5 bet on that. There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So where you want to transition away from hockey here now?
Yeah, I really want to talk about the WNBA.
All right.
What
If
else
we
is,
must,
dude?
if we must,
People talk about the NBA as the drama league. This is the
dude.
freaking drama league. This
I
is
know
crazy.
you're right. We gotta talk about it because like anytime I open my Twitter feed, that's all I see, and like we don't even follow any like basketball accounts, and that's all I see on my timeline. Like, where's this coming from?
So we'll just break it. I'll just break it down for a little bit. So yeah, obviously everyone knows who Caitlin Clark is. She went first overall. Indiana Fever. She's kind of had a tough time with it, but also she's putting up good numbers. Everyone knows who Angel Reese is. She went seventh overall to the Chicago Sky. Those two, they don't like each other. They don't like each other very much. Like there's definite rivalry there going back to college because LSU beat Iowa in the championship the one year, and they just don't like each other. But Caitlin Clark's getting her fucking ass beat every single game, dude. Every
Gosh,
game.
it's
Hard
brutal.
fouls. They're pushing her. She's talking shit. She's throwing elbows back. Like, she ain't backing down. Like, she's a tough girl. But the rhetoric out there is so annoying. I am so sick of it.
That all right? So you want me to chime in
Yeah, I
here?
want
All
you to jump in here.
right. So I mean, for me, it's like it's so weird because I don't understand the all the discourse over Clark because she's like you said, she's playing fine. I'm not even the biggest Clark fan, and I somewhat kind of feel for her. But I mean, again, I think this will all probably go away. But the only thing that gets me is that it just feels like a little too personal, which I don't like. And I think like I see a lot of the sentiment out there is like the league doesn't like her right now because everyone's saying like, oh, Kate, like nobody paid attention before Caitlin Clark, and like that's like
I don't know if that's even really that true.
it's not like 100% true. Like it might be like half true.
Like
Like you're
everyone knows who Diana Taurasi is. Everyone knows who Candace Parker is. Everyone knows. I can name off like five other players, right? Like everyone knows the stars.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So I think what sucks is like for Clark, you're in an impossible spot because like it's not like she asked for this. Like
Yeah,
she was just like the best college female scorer of all time and became this like polarizing figure and continues to do that. And she's helping to grow the game and which is great. She's bringing all this revenue to the game, but like she didn't ask for that. She just accomplished those things,
yeah,
and I feel like now yes, I mean she has her antics on the court too, which is fine. That's the competitive part about it. Like you've seen other teams and her get into that stuff. Like I'm good with that stuff, but what sucks and which I think will eventually go away is just that I think like she's getting it a lot more because of that sentiment of like everyone feels like it's like her against them and like it's the whole WNBA against her. Like she's not the reason. Like she didn't make this league, and it's like she's not saying that. Like Caitlin Clark isn't the one saying that. Like that's
right.
everybody else, and that's only probably like I said half true. Like so I don't. It's tough because it feels like I feel like she's somewhat like kind of being like bullied a little bit too much, but like in the end, I get that she'll be fine, but I think it's like kind of like unjustified, like
Yeah, like
if I'm
she's
being
getting beat
honest.
up. I mean, Kennedy Carter hammered her away from the ball. Like that was uncalled for. Like that's a clear flagrant foul. Like
Yeah,
that's
and she called her like
bullshit.
a fucking bitch. Like it's like you don't just do that like in the spirit of nature. Like you literally like she like if you like her face was like I hate this woman. Like I would kill her on the street if I
And
saw
when that
her.
happened, Angel Reese jumped up and was like cheering and shit. I'm like, God
Yeah,
damn,
like
you really don't like this girl at all. It's
yeah.
crazy. I
That's
love it
just that.
though. It drives. I love it because it drives the drama, dude. And
Yeah.
like part of it for me, I can't speak on the race stuff. We're two white guys. Like
No,
I
yeah,
don't
it's I'm
know.
not getting into that.
I can't speak on that. Like there's nothing I can say that like anything with that. But like there probably is like a little bit of jealousy with these girls that are like, you didn't make our league. Like we've been here, and
Sure.
I get
Yeah.
that. That's totally fine. Like they're not wrong.
Yeah.
But and I also kind of feel like that Caitlin Clark's being babied a little bit because I do think like this is going to make her a better player and make her stronger. But man, just let the girls play basketball. Like let them play. Like the rhetoric, mostly coming from men too, which is so fucking weird to me. Like
Mhm.
Stephen A. Smith and like those shows on the TV, like the women commentators, they're just like the league's always been physical. Like it's fine. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
away and Caitlin Clark's gonna do her thing, and Cameron Brink's gonna do her thing as a rookie, and all these other women are great players, but like people gotta let it go. Like let them just play ball. Like this is crazy to me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's where I am. Like, again, it's not like Clark didn't ask for all that noise to be out there. It's just what happened. I don't like it because I feel like it's a little bit more personal than it needs to be. But
Yep.
honestly, like you said, I think for her, like my biggest critique of her coming out is that like from a basketball standpoint, like yeah, she can shoot the ball and she's got good ball skills and things, but where she struggled in college was like there were so many times where she'd drive the paint and she didn't know where her outlets were. She'd get caught with the ball sometimes, and I knew that was going to be an issue going to the next level. And
Her
she was
team
going
is
and
really bad, dude.
well,
They're
and her team
really
is
bad.
bad. But I'm saying even at Iowa, like that was the thing.
Yeah.
And so like she doesn't have the outlets right now, or the
And
offensive game
dude,
plans in place. But I knew that was going to be like a weakness of her game translating to the next level and something she had to get better at. And she's like leading the league in turnovers, or she's up there in turnovers. So like we're seeing that, which is fine. But I think she'll learn from that mixed in with this extra physicality. Like she's literally gonna have to get stronger because she kind of has to defend herself right now too because nobody else is. So
right,
I
yeah,
think
her
it's gonna
teammates, dude. Where are her teammates too?
yeah. So I think it's gonna help her game, but also it's gonna help her be like, listen, I gotta get stronger too. So I mean, she'll be better for it in the long
It's
run, and
really
so will the
cool
league.
because like I saw a video earlier, like Kate Martin, her Iowa teammate, who I forget what team she's on. Her teammates just sang her happy birthday and shit. Like she's having a hell of a time and she's playing really well. And I just read an interview with Cameron Brink, who is an absolute smoke. Oh my god, I love her so much. She wrote about how like we're all gonna have a tough time out here. Like she had a 3-point game the other day, and Caitlin Clark had a 3-point game the other day, and they're just gonna say fuck it, let's go out there and ball. Like it's
Yeah,
women are like it's crazy because like in men's sports, if Brad Marchand goes and like elbows someone in the face, no one is saying the crazy stuff that I've been seeing people say about like these other women. Like
yeah.
it may not be like within the bounds of basketball, but it is competitive. So shit, the league's really fun. It's full of drama. I kind of love it.
Yeah, it is, and you know what? It's so hard too because Caitlin Clark is so polarizing. Like people
You
love
either love her or you
her
hate her, dude.
exactly. So like that's what also makes it tough. It's like I think that's where a lot of the babying comes in too, is because like if you love her, like you don't want to see a fly land on her, right? So like
Yeah,
it's like that's why it feels like it's such an impossible situation. It's gonna be there for the rest of this year, and then I think it'll simmer down a little bit. But I mean, dude, she's selling out arenas. Like it's
I know.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
it's cool.
crazy.
Women's sports I feel like within the last 10 years might be too long, but even in the last like 5 years, I feel like it's really like picked up where people are starting to notice. And that's got to be so like very cool for the people that are playing now and like very rewarding for like the older players or like the retired women that are like, we paved this way
Yeah.
for all these other girls to like have this success. So it's fucking sweet. I love it. It's
Yeah.
great.
For sure, for sure. And we've talked about the PWHL on here too,
Oh
and
yeah,
how
shout out to
that's
the
really like taken
Minnesota.
off. So
Shout out
Minnesota,
to
yep,
yeah, they just first championship. Then they
yep.
dude, did you see games 5? Did you see what happened or game 4 what happened in there?
No, I didn't see.
So Boston scored a goal to end the series in game 4 in overtime. But it was like the clearest form of goalie interference you've ever seen. Like
Hmm.
the Boston forward skated like directly into the goalie and then they scored, like literally knocked her out of position. And they celebrated. Like they threw their shit in the air, they like all their gear, their stuff because they thought they won. And they overturned the goal, and then 30 seconds later, Minnesota scored to force Game 5,
Jeez,
and then Minnesota
that's
won the
awesome.
championship. It's incredible, and yeah, like that league is kicking off. Like,
Yep.
dude, it's great. It's great. Women's sports are in like the peak that they've ever been. It's fun.
Yeah, for sure. That is we finished like we obviously did our first season of the show here, And like I said, we mentioned the PWHL here and there. I think a big goal of mine and ours should be like for season two to shine, to even like talk about that even more, because like I think we can do a better job too of like I know there's only so much time in the day, but I want to try and be a little bit more like plugged into to PWHL
Yeah.
and promoting that a little bit. So we'll look to do that for sure in the coming future. But
One more
um,
thing. I got one more
yeah,
thing before we
yep.
log off. Pussygate came to an end with the Saginaw and London in the Memorial Cup.
Oh yeah,
Those
what happened there?
those two teams faced off for the final.
Yeah, our two prospects got eliminated.
Yeah, but dude, the kid that was alleged to say the word to the defenseman on Saginaw got ejected 4 minutes into the game for a check to the head. Insane.
Really, to that guy.
No, not to the
Oh,
same
okay.
player, but different player. Saginaw goes up 3-0, and then London comes back, makes it 3-3, and
Oh,
Saginaw ends
jeez.
up pulling away and wins the Memorial
Wow.
Cup
Okay.
on
So
home ice. So yeah,
the host, whatever,
host city, yeah,
province.
not city. No, Saginaw's an American city.
Oh, yeah,
Saginaw's the
look at that. Look
first
at that.
American city in the OHL to ever win the Memorial Cup.
Oh, okay. Where's Saginaw?
Fuck Detroit, I think. Let's look it up. Let's look it up.
All right, let's look it up.
Is played there. Where is
Saginaw,
Saginaw?
Michigan.
I knew it was. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's in the Michigan area. I thought it
Oh
was
yeah,
close to
look at
Detroit, but
that.
it might not be. But
Yeah,
yeah,
looks like a nice little place.
so yeah, that's so cool, man. Those kids, like, I just love the fact that like a kid got suspended for dropping a pee bomb. Like, just blows me away. Like we were just talking about the women's sports. They probably say like the worst shit to each other. Like they're
Oh,
some
I'm sure.
trash
I could only
talkers. Like
imagine.
I've seen like women's hockey, dude. They are in each other's faces. Like it is
Oh
insane.
yeah.
Like chirping is like I if a woman chirped me on the ice, which has happened before in beer league, I'm just tucking my tail between my legs and just going back to the bench. Like there's nothing like more intimidating than a girl just like chirping you. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Just saying like
absolutely.
the most vile shit. So just like, come on, man, you can't like get suspended for dropping a pee bomb. There's been worse things said out there.
A
But
pee
good for
bomb.
Saginaw
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Do you know who the host city is next
for
year? Or
2025. It's been decided. It's been decided, dude. There was a trade the other day. I think in the Western League. Maybe it's the host nation. I'm not sure. I'm gonna check. 17 draft picks
oh my gosh,
for
that's
like
so
four
crazy, man.
players. It's insane. They basically traded like 10-year-olds. Like if you think about it, like 20, 30 picks, like 10 and 9-year-olds. It's insane. Let's see.
All right.
Memorial Cup host nation. I'm gonna look it up
Yeah, see what we got.
for 2025. Rimouski, so it's going back to the QMJHL in the Rimouski Oceanic. So that's fun.
Okay. All right. Nice. All right. Nice. All right. You want to talk Bills updates real quick before we get to the goofball, and then we can close things out.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to talk about the stadium real quick because they got OTAs going on. You can't really glean anything from OTAs. Like it's nice
Yeah,
to have
stadium stuff. Yeah.
Nice to have Bills chatter back going on because it's fun. But I've been hearing people talk about the stadium. Like I know Sal Capaccio and like a bunch of other guys from the media got tours and stuff and like virtual tours, and they got to stand on the 50-yard line and all. Dude, this thing sounds incredible. They got like there are people that are gonna buy season tickets and then go to this one section of the stadium they've been talking about where there's 100-foot bar and you can like walk around this giant concourse area and watch the game. Like you can see the field from the bar because there's
Yeah.
clear glass. That is so sick. Like the amenities are gonna be amazing. I can't wait to like go there for the first time. And for anyone saying, "Oh, the normal fan is gonna be priced out of tickets," start saving your money, maybe. Start saving.
And we just want cup holders in Quebec. Like
Yeah,
that's all we want
yeah.
is cup holders.
They're saying, dude, I think Matt Bove was talking about how crazy the seats are. He was saying that like you sit at the 50 and it's gonna be scary like sitting up top because he said the seats are like on top of you. Like it you know how like I'm gonna call it Ralph Wilson Stadium. It goes like out and like if you're in the 50, like the seats go this way.
Yeah,
He
it's
said
like
the
stadium
seats
seating.
yeah. He said the seats go up. So like everything is like on top of the players, dude. That's gonna be so nasty.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interest. That's gonna be a different. Sounds like it'll be a different game day experience too, which is
Yeah,
cool.
for
So
sure. Like it's gonna be great. I'm so excited.
well, and with that, they put the bid in for the draft
Yeah,
to have it here. So I mean
2028.
that. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense if they get it. Show off the new stadium and the Bills and Allen will have won probably 2 Super Bowls by then too. So that'll be
Yep. Yeah,
cool.
we'll be picking 32nd in that draft.
We can have the draft and then like where everyone's like congregating, like we can unveil the statue of Josh too, like
Oh yeah, we could
around
do that.
everybody,
Yeah, let's do that too. Why not? Uh,
All right, so then we'll close things out with the goofball. Do you have one this week? Do you have one?
I don't have a goofball. I
Oh,
don't.
dude! All right, I got a good one. This happened like a week and a half ago because I had this prep for the last show, so this is kind of old, but it wasn't like a huge headline, so I don't know if like a lot of people saw it. I'll be interested to see if you saw it. So there was I saw it from Barstool. Barstool posted a gentleman who was supposed to appear in court
No,
for
dude, keep going, but I got a rebuttal here. Keep going.
so he was supposed to appear in court for whatever it was, like a suspended license, or I
Yeah.
think it was a suspended license, and he couldn't be there like live, so he's zooming into the hearing, and when he picks up, he's driving his car, and the
It's such
judge
a funny video.
and the judge is like, Mister Whatever, are you? Can you talk? He's like, hang on, I'm just pulling into my doctor right now, and and the judge is just like looking around, like, is this guy for real? And then he gets in, and then the judge is like, so just so like you're not supposed to be driving, right? Like you're here for a suspended license, and you're out driving, and the guy's just like,
Dude, the
he didn't know
judge
what to
was in
say.
disbelief. Disbelief.
So the judge is like, "All right, well, you got to be to jail by 6 p.m. or there's going to be a warrant out for your arrest."
Okay. So I gotta tell you, there's been an update in this story.
Okay.
It's been proven that there was a clerical error under his license, and he actually did not have a suspended license. So
Oh, okay.
the whole thing should have never happened. He
So this
had,
is something his lawyer should have known.
yeah,
His
his
lawyer
lawyer,
was like, "Oh yeah, whatever. That's your verdict. Like, let's put
his
him in jail."
lawyer turned him into a fucking meme on the internet for no reason. So he's a free man. Good
So
for
the
him.
goofball is really the lawyer.
Yeah. I'm glad we brought this up because it pissed me off. This lawyer,
Oh, nice.
I saw
Okay.
that this guy got mocked, and I mean his reaction was really
It
funny.
was really funny. Yeah.
This guy, what a character! I love it. He was so funny. But man, his lawyer embarrassed him for no reason.
Yeah, it was so fun. Okay, so I take my initial goofball back, and I'm putting that goofball on the lawyer now. So
Yeah.
I
He's a free
thanks
man,
for that
free
clarity. I
man
like
with a
it.
real license, and he's allowed to drive.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
All
I got a
right.
goofball. Did you see the guy that stuck a gas pump in his ass?
No.
Oh, I'll send it to you. It's hilarious. That's my goofball. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right. All right. Well, on that note, we will close things out today. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. I'm looking forward to maybe doing something similar like this in the future. We'll be back next week, hopefully with something else lined up. But until then, enjoy the Stanley Cup Finals. Those are set to begin. I think tomorrow, or is it Thursday?
No, not
Is
till
it?
Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right. So those start in a couple of days. So a few games will have happened by the time we speak next week. But everyone enjoy the rest of the playoffs there, and hope you like the episode. Follow us on Twitter and check out the YouTube channel if you want to watch us on there. And we'll see everybody next week. Later.
See ya.